Hi crafters! Here's another card that I made last weekend that I told you I would show you how to make. I am using different colors but because I'm using scraps, but you'll still get the gist of how to do it. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already got my card base ready. I'm just using a white card base. The other piece that we'll be using is cut at 5 1/8 and 3 7/8. And the first thing we're going to do is emboss it. I'm going to use my little Texture Boutique. Now I want it to be nice and deep, so I'm going to go ahead and use a shim, even though this would emboss without it. You can use the shim that came with it, or you can just put another piece of paper in. So I've got my sandwich, and then this just gives it a little extra thickness, and that will kind of help make the impression a little more deep. You could also, but I didn't want to take the time, you can actually spritz the cardstock with water and then emboss it, and you would get the same effect. That's a good way to get extra deep impressions. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Now, to do this slanted piece, all I've done is used the triangles die from Dynamics. It's from My Favorite Things. What I like about this is they give you 5 small ones and 3 large ones, so you're not having to run the die through once for every one you want. So it was really quick for me. When I took my dies out of the packet, I didn't even cut them individually. I left 3 together and then 2, so that as I run them through, they're all, they're still attached, and you can cut them faster. I just took some scraps from that were in the A Perfect Summer 6x6 paper pad. Here's some of my scraps. So you can do this technique with you don't have to have any special paper. You can dig in your scraps book, or any way you want to do it. What I normally do anytime, well, I'm going to move my camera here to show you. I don't know if it's showing up. Anytime I cut a lot of something out, I cut extra. So I've got these 3 piles of my triangles, and what I do is keep them here. You'll see that I do have some triangles in here, some butterfly ones and different things. Of course, with their being double-sided paper, there's just a whole hodgepodge of stuff. But what I'll do when I'm finished with this card is I'll take all those extra triangles and I'll stick them in this little container. It's just really convenient to just go ahead and die cut a lot of things at one time, and that way later on when you're ready to use them, you've got some already made. So what we're going to do is probably really only need like 3 or 4. I have cut a strip of white paper because all we're going to do is piece these triangles together. So to do that, and what we want to do is make sure on this one, see how it's flat, we want so you might want to put your strip of paper onto your diagonal. I'll show you why. Let me pull this one. Because depending on how you lay it, you want to make sure that you've got a flat end up here at the top, and then we're going to diagonal our strip of paper. So I'm going to leave a little bit of extra there, and that's okay because we'll trim that off in the end. Okay, so I always test it, make sure that I've got it going the right way so that I can get that diagonal across there. Alright, so the way that I get them to stay is I just run some tape runner down my strip, and then I'm just going to put it on. And I will check it again to make sure I'm, and see, it's a good thing I did because I didn't put it on right. Okay, so let's diagonal this. My hands are sticking to it now. And I'm going to need my flat piece up here. So I'm going to hook it on like that. So basically I'll just be cutting that little extra off when I'm done. Snip this from peeling it up. So it's always good to do what I just did, which is go double check that you're getting what you want. Okay, that's a little too much of a... I'm really making this look a lot harder than it is. I just didn't want that much of a diagonal. Okay, so once you get it the way you want, all you do is piece them together, and the beauty is they're all the same size. So we will just piece these together like so. And then you'll just do one after the other, and you'll go all the way down the line. If your paper, you can cut it and do another strip. It doesn't need to be attractive, because what we're going to do is trim off any excess that we have. So we'll just go every other one, hooking them together like so. Now, so you don't have to sit here and watch me piece all this together. I have one that I did. So here you can see they're just every other one, and I've got them going, and I checked it for diagonal. The back is ugly, and I don't really care. Who's going to see it? So if you have pieces that like aren't laying flat, here for example, I took some Scotch tape and just taped it on the back because no one's going to see that anyway. So here it is, simply piecing your triangles together. So now I can, you can see how I've got it on there, and turn it till it fits just right. Now since I'm going to pop this whole piece up, I'm going to go ahead and just use tape runner on the back of this to hold it in place. I'm not going to pop it up like I normally would. And I'm going to get right to the edge. And there we go. It's a little off where I just put it, but that's okay, because for some reason whenever I demonstrate, it never works the same. So here we've got that piece on. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up with foam dots that I should have had out, and I thought I did. Where's the ones that I really like? Well, I wanted a little bit thicker ones. And I didn't want to have to use a bazillion baby ones. I have some big ones, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to use these little ones because I don't know where my large ones are. If I were going to mail this, I would take the time to find the large ones and put them on, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. You know what? One of these days, one of these videos is going to work from beginning to end, and I will actually have everything I need. Seems like every time I think I do, I don't. But that's okay. That's the real world. That's how it really is. I'm not going to edit it and make it look like I'm perfect, because I'm not. I think a lot of times we start doing something when we're in the middle of it and we forget things, so I figure I'm just normal. Alright, get all that off. And put it on there. Oh, I like those colors. Okay, it's my extra triangles. I'll just scoop out of the way. That cleaned up. Okay, so what I did for the sentiment, I'm just going to put thanks on here. I'm hoping that this is going to show up. I cut 2 in case I did it bad. I don't know, this is about 3/4 of an inch. I don't think it's an inch wide. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch wide, and looks like maybe let me measure it, maybe 2 inches, a little over 2 inches, about 2¼ inches long. It's just a scrap again. Just did a scrap on it, and use my powder tool because I'm going to use black embossing, and I want to make sure that it doesn't stick anywhere except where I want it to. This word thanks is from the Lawn Fawn Blue Sky set. I probably should have done happy birthday because I could use a birthday card that's kind of guy. I think this would totally work for a guy. I put the Versamark on here. Hope I didn't stick my finger in it since I can't see it. And sprinkle this on. Since the paper's busy, I figure that that's why I elected to emboss the word. It doesn't look like it's on there very good. I'm not happy with that. Well, let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Just doesn't look like it's covered. Well, alright. Now, we know that isn't going to work. I just blew it over. I swear. This is real life, but it is annoying. Let's take 100. Okay. I didn't use my powder tool this time. You know what part of my problem is? I don't have my glasses on either. Okay. I'm going to keep this back here because I don't want to blow that black powder everywhere. Alright, good enough. Get this black powder out of here before it blows everywhere. You know, I have 100 of those trays. Well, not literally 100, but I have a lot of the little trays, and frankly, I think it's just easier sometimes to just use the white paper to collect your embossing powder and put it back in its container. Okay, oh yeah, that's going to look good. Now I'm going to give it a little fishtail on both ends. Actually, I'm going to snip a little of that one because I felt that, ooh, sometimes, you know, you just never know, and I'm not sure I should have done that. But hey, let's see what we get. Again, I don't know, for those of you who haven't seen, if you want to, the easiest way is to cut up the middle and then cut up the sides, and that's how you can get an even fishtail. Yeah, I probably should have made that scrap a little thinner, but oh well. This card will probably not go to anyone anyway because I don't have enough little sticky things on it. We'll see. I don't know. And I think this totally could be a guy birthday card also. So I think that's pretty cute. The thanks is a little hard to read. In person, it's easier than probably on the screen because that paper is a little bit busy, where this one that I made last week, I feel like it shows up a little better. The papers aren't quite as dark. But the idea was to show you how to piece together the triangles and make that little diagonal mark. So there you go. Hope you try that out. If you do, send me pictures or put them on our Facebook page, the Stampin' Facebook page, and share your creations with us. Alright, thanks. See you later. Bye.